The narcissist projection, how narcissistic people play the blame game. A narcissist projection is a mix of their manipulative gaslighting and their manipulative blame shifting, as they go all out to distract you from the truth, as they do their best to cover the truth with their distorted lies, as they hide the truth of their toxic, hurtful, negative behaviour from you, while at the same time they get you to doubt yourself and blame yourself and take on the responsibility of the narcissist's actions. They get you to defend yourself to them for how you think or feel due to their hurtful ways. So they escape accountability, so they remain in control, and so they get away with their actions time and time again while slowly sinking you and putting you further under their trance. I'm Elizabeth Shaw. Welcome to the channel, which is all about the narcissistic personality disorder, to give you more understanding of those you might be dealing with or have been dealing with in your life, how to handle those or go no contact with those that you can go no contact with, and most importantly, how to recover from narcissistic abuse. If you do like the information on this channel, please do subscribe. So, pathological projection is a defense mechanism used by a narcissist to defend their own ego against their own negative qualities by denying you the existence of the truth, by denying themselves the existence of their own inner faults and placing them onto others. It's a way to deny theirs and our reality, a way of denying something they have done by passing the blame for their behaviour, thoughts or feelings onto others. They can project thoughts, flaws, emotions, characteristics, actions and feelings that they don't like within themselves or that they don't want other people to know about. Projection is a narcissist manipulation method to control the image, the realities they want others to see, to gaslight us into losing our minds, often causing cognitive dissonance, where because we live in two different realities, the one we live and the one we are being gaslighted into believing, we then end up living with two very different realities, different beliefs, different values and different ideas, which leaves us disorientated and confused. We know they cheated. We know cheating is wrong. We know it hurts. We know we deserve better, yet they gaslight us by projecting their faults onto us and by blaming us. If only you'd have paid more attention to me. And so we believe that it's our fault when it's not our fault. They chose to do what they chose to do. Most often, they'll do all they can to deny any infidelity in the first place by calling us insecure or jealous. They don't hide the truth to protect our feelings. Like when cheating is committed in a non-narcissistic relationship where the cheater would feel remorse, guilt, would offer a genuine apology, and the infidelity still hurts, a narcissist hides the truth from us to save themselves. Even when we know the truth, they'll still try to deny it, provoke us, pass the blame, and find any way they can to twist it all onto us so that they can escape accountability, as they feel entitled to do as they please without the empathy to care for those they exploit and hurt along their way, so long as their needs are being met and they are receiving the attention they believe that they deserve. A narcissist does not want to be discovered for who they indeed are. They do not want to admit any wrongdoings, so with the word salad they throw our way, they pass all their faults onto us. They will exaggerate something that we did or we said once as evidence while they downplay any of their toxic behaviour. They will use triangulation manipulation by quoting a third party to get us to doubt ourselves. I went here with Sam. I told you last week I was going, do you want to message Sam and check with them? And Sam will be a friend of theirs that you know about, or usually the same sex. When they use third parties, it is often to lie, to add a twist into the story, to distract you from the truth, to distort reality and get you to doubt yourself. Most narcissists do actually tell themselves, if we listen closely enough, through projection, they reveal what they are doing, what they are genuinely up to, or what they are thinking of doing. They accuse others what they have done or what they are planning on doing. They blame exes of what they truly put the exes through. They do this to pity play, to get people on their side by playing the victim. Also to project their mistakes, their faults, their errors, what they've done away from themselves and onto other people. So they don't feel the inner shame of the actual actions that they took. They project their feelings onto others so they don't have to deal with them. They make others feel guilty for what they do and who they are, as they are unable to feel that guilt within themselves, or if they feel that little bit of shame, they quickly pass it on to those around them. As a narcissist is unable and unwilling to be held accountable or responsible for the things they say or do, they have to project onto others to escape that accountability, often lacking in cognitive reflection skills, meaning once they've made their version of events up, there's little chance of them looking back and reflecting on any errors they've made. They are often preoccupied with getting what they want, getting their needs met. They are arrogant to believe only their thoughts, feelings and opinions count. That they are that desperate for control, to be admired and to be right. Once they've made their minds up, this is then their truth. They will divert and distract you from what's genuinely happening by changing the subject, by talking over you, by being angry, by having rage, by throwing things, or by the silent treatment, the sulks, stomping off. Or they will blame shift onto you to get you and others to take responsibility for their actions and avoid accountability. Observing what a narcissistic person does and the patterns of manipulative methods they go around that they use, you get the truth from them without getting the truth from them, without them directly admitting it, as they'll never directly admit to anything. They will always gaslight us, blame shift and project. It's when we observe their words, we get to see them for who they are. When we absorb their toxic words, we end up feeling full of guilt, feeling like we are to blame, feeling confused for things that we haven't even done. It's like that bottle of poison. If we drink that poison, it takes over every part, slowly shutting us down and killing us. If we just look at that bottle of poison and read the label, we know it's dangerous, we understand what would happen, and we don't drink it. Now, unfortunately, narcissists don't come with warning labels, but one warning is listening and observing to how they talk about others, what they say people have done to them. They will accuse you or others of things you are not. They will attack your character, your hobbies, your passions, your dreams by invalidating each of them, putting you down, calling you names like stupid and idiot and selfish, asking, why do you have to ruin things when you haven't? You're actually trying to make it work and keep them happy. They will play the victim in those smear campaigns. They will always be looking to blame you. If only you. Any false apology often has a you in it, to why they chose to do something to hurt you. It's not and never has been you. It was their choice to do the things that they do. No one made them. They just gaslight you into believing you made them. Common examples of projection. 1, they accuse you of cheating and you know full well you're not and never would. Not all narcissists will do this. Those that do will question where you've been, who you've been with. They will go on because they are cheating or they are planning on it. 2, they accuse the exes of stalking them, being crazy and being obsessed with them, being abusive towards them. Now, some exes might match this description and look crazy, and that's because the narcissist drove them that way. Some exes might constantly be messaging. That's the trauma bond and the ex wanting answers and closure. The narcissist will start stalking the ex as soon as the ex goes no contact. As for being abusive, listen carefully, as that's precisely what they did to the ex and what they will one day do to you. 3, they accuse the ex of withholding the children. This can be one of 2 reasons. 1, the narcissist does not feel a need for the children. The children aren't giving them enough attention or validation, so they cannot be bothered to see the children. So to escape accountability, they play the parent alienation card. They accuse the ex of not allowing them to see them so that they cannot bother with the children, yet escape responsibility for taking care of the children, for not taking care of the children. They blame the ex, and the other reason the ex could have woken up from the trance the narcissist put them under, realised how dangerous they are and stopped contact. Yet the way the narcissist tells the story actually matches up to what's happening, so it's very easy to believe they're gaslighting. 4, you get accused of being selfish, or that's just like you, or my ex would have done that. Yes, the crazy ex that did nothing but hurt them and won't let them see the children, and yet now they're telling you the ex would have done something for them that you're not willing to do for them. This is to confuse you, to gaslight you even more, so that you work harder to please them, to keep them, because if they'd left the ex who did do that for them and you're not willing to, then they might leave you, and you're not the ex. You're not like the ex. They've told you some horrible stories about the ex, and that's not who you are. When you set a boundary, they want to break that down, as they believe they are entitled and they want to be in control over you. They believe you shouldn't have boundaries. They accuse you of being selfish because they are selfish. They say things like, that's just like you, usually when you started treating them how they treat you. No contact and the silent treatment, for example. Their silent treatment is to psychologically cause you pain, to harm you, to get you to chase them, to get you to look for ways to blame yourself, to get you to apologize to them. Your no contact is so that they can move on with their lives and you can move on with your life in completely different directions away from them. It's not to hurt them, it's to let them go and live their life while you go and heal and live your life. 5, they accuse you of lying, and this is because they themselves are compulsive liars. 6, they accuse you of being jealous. They accuse you of being envious, and this is because they themselves are extremely jealous and envious of other people. And it's heartbreaking when someone's accusing you of being jealous and you're not jealous. So it confuses you, and you're trying to defend yourself and explain as to why you are not jealous, and they just twist the whole conversation, and you're the one that ends up angry and frustrated trying to prove a point that you don't need to prove because you're not. Or they are doing something behind your back and you think you know they are doing something behind your back. So rather than admitting they are doing something that would hurt your feelings, doing something that you wouldn't do to them because you know it would hurt their feelings, they accuse you of being jealous, which isn't actually what you're feeling. You're feeling hurt that they're potentially cheating on you or talking to people in a way that you feel uncomfortable with, which then they'll accuse you of being too sensitive or insecure, when they are the ones making you feel insecure because they are talking to people how you wouldn't talk to people because you're in a committed relationship and you wouldn't want to hurt them the way they are hurting you. 7, they accuse others of all their problems they actually caused to themselves and to other people. And those that have now stood up for themselves against the narcissist will be having their name smeared by the narcissist. Everything that the narcissist did to them, they will say that that person did to the narcissist. 8, they accuse you of doing nothing for them, which is confusing when you do a lot for them. This is to get you to do something that you don't want to do. Again, to break down your boundaries, to walk on eggshells and do more and more to please them while they just take and take. In reality, when you stop and think about it, you most likely do or did everything for them and they did very little for you. If you actually ask them what they do for you, they will come up with all sorts of garbage, but when you think about it, they do very little. 8, they say they'll never hurt you as the ex hurt them so badly, meaning they are going to hurt you and do everything they did to the ex that they're saying the ex did to them. They are going to do all that to you. 10, they accuse you of being crazy. They accuse you of being depressed. They accuse you of being anxious. And this is extremely confusing, as quite often you've been gaslighted into feeling this way. So you may be feeling depressed. You may be feeling anxious. Due to the gaslighting, you may have been driven out of your mind and feeling like you're going crazy. So the narcissist words actually match how you're feeling. When you've been around them for a long time, this is what happens. And the reality is they are this way within themselves and they've projected all their thoughts and feelings onto you. They need to have the attention of others to fill their own self-doubts, to fill their own self-esteem. Once you break free and reality starts to return, you realise you were never the crazy one. However, they'll be accusing you of having mental health problems when you do break free, to try and smear your name to other people, to try and bring you down, to try and hurt you in any way they can. And often when they're accusing you of being depressed, you can think, I'm sure it's not depression. I know I've something, but I'm not depressed. Something's not right. And it's usually them that are upsetting you in some way. We just don't see it. 11, they accuse us of being control freaks, trying to break down our boundaries, values and beliefs to stop us doing what we want to do and to keep themselves in control of us. 12, they say you'll never find someone like me. They believe they are far superior and better than anyone else. So this is kind of truth on their part. Unfortunately, with researchers suggesting 1 in 5 are on the disorder, and there's potentially a lot more, they are not as unique as they believe themselves to be. So we have to educate ourselves on the disorder to make sure we never find someone like them again, or if we do, we walk away much sooner. How to disarm a narcissist that is projecting onto you. 1, no contact is the best method. If that's not possible, then it's grey rock. 2, do not engage in it. Do not listen to them. Do not react to them. Don't make it your problem and don't take it personally. Look at the bigger picture. What have they done? What are they thinking of doing? What are they doing? Look beyond their words. Look at how you feel and what deep down you know to be true. 3, do not react. Do not defend yourself. Know your truth and leave them to it. When we defend ourselves to them, this is what they want, because they will provoke us to get us to react. So they can use our behavior, they can use our reactions to their behavior as the problem rather than their behavior itself. They want the world and they want us to view ourselves as desperate, unstable and crazy, and they will turn our reactions into being the problem to escape accountability for their own behaviour. 4, be who you want to be. No, it's not about you. They are talking about themselves and trying to make their reality yours. So know who you are, know your reality, learn your reality, learn your truths, and the only opinion that matters is of you is your opinion. Other people's opinions of you do not matter. You do not have to defend yourself to those unwilling to listen to you. 5, have your boundaries. Your no needs to mean no, and you need to stick to your no. If you feel the need to explain, do so once. Respond once, don't react, and then leave them to it. They're entitled to have their opinions. They're entitled to make their own minds up and their own judgment up. It does not have to be yours. 6, be careful you don't project your good qualities onto them. Once you understand who they are, you cannot love them into loving you. You cannot help them get better. They have a disorder. It is who they are. If they want to find coping strategies, they can. The problem is most of them don't want to. Forgiving them, trying to help them, being kind to them will only ever harm you. It will never change them. They just see it as an opportunity to exploit you some more. Forgiveness is for you. It is not to let them back in to hurt you again. I shall add the links in the description of where you can find me on social media for more information on overcoming narcissistic abuse. I shall also add the links to the online courses that I have available that give you more support. I am full for one-to-one coaching at the moment, but I shall add the link to BetterHelp. They have some excellent counsellors. Please reach out if you do need that extra support. I shall also add in the links more about boundaries to explain more on how to keep your boundaries and how to stop people pleasing, how they invalidate you, cognitive dissonance and gaslighting. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.